welcome back to my channel. ഏവർക്കും എൻ്റെ ചാനലിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം. Today also we'll be continuing the MCQs for Radiographers exam. All these questions are taken from PSC Bank. Already I have completed 5 sessions for this PSC exam for Radiographer. Have completed, and this is the part 6 PSC Radiographer session. So let us begin today's session, and before moving on to this session, I have those who have not yet known about my application, please join my application. You can download this application from Google Play Store, and it is also by my name Parvathy Thejus, and this application is open for iPhone users also. So all those link for joining I'll be sharing in my description box. The main highlight of this application is that this application is not meant for radiographers. It is meant for all the specialties, that is physiotherapists, laboratory, biomedical scientist, occupational therapist, audiologist, audiographers. Then comes the optometrist. Everyone are there in my group, and all the job offers of all the specialties will also be shared through this application, and you can also ask any queries related with the registration. So those who wish to join my application can directly click on to the link and join, or just WhatsApp me. And those who require my book, that is Handbook of Radiographer, that is MCQ book for Radiographer and Radiation Therapy Technologist, can also purchase. The cost of this book is only ₹199, and this book will be very useful for those preparing for competitive exam. So let us begin today's session. Moving on to the 51 question. Lingula of lung is best seen in which X-ray view? Option A lordotic, option B apical, option C left lateral decubitus, and option D right lateral decubitus. The answer is option A lordotic. Now let's see the explanation. The left lung, unlike the right, does not have a middle lobe. However, the term lingula is used to denote a projection of the upper lobe of the left lung that serves as a homologue. This area of the left lobe, the lingula, means little tongue in Latin, and it is often referred to as the tongue in the lung. Moving on to the next question, question number 52. In order to decrease dose in large patients, option A, decrease kV and improve image noise. Option B, increase kV and improve image noise. Option C, increase in kV and improve in contrast. And option D, decrease in kV and improve in contrast. The answer is option B, increase kV and improve image noise. Now let's see the explanation. The higher the kVp, that means the kilovolt peak, the lower the resolution and image contrast percentage, and also increase the MAS, the higher the resolution and image contrast percentage. Particularly in larger body parts such as obese adult torso. Torso means trunk. Low energy photons are absorbed completely without contributing to image formation. Means low energy photons will only increase the patient skin dose. For penetration, we have to increase the kVp. So kVp determines the penetrating power of the X-ray beam. In such situation, higher kVp is employed to improve the X-ray intensity reaching the receptor and thus increasing the signal to noise ratio of the images. So for obese or for larger patients, we have to give higher kVp, or higher kVp factor should be given for better penetration and image quality. Moving on to the next question, question number 53. Most signal in K space is present. Option A in the center, option B in the periphery, option C along the frequency encoding axis, and option D along gradient encoding axis. The answer is option A, in the center. Now let's see the explanation. The K-space represents the spatial frequency formation in 2 or 3 dimensions of an object. The K-space is defined by the space covered by the phase and frequency encoding data. The relationship between K-space and data and image data is a Fourier transformation. So the K-space represents the spatial frequency information in 2 or 3 dimensions of an object. The most signal in K-space is present at the center. The periphery loses signal because of dephasing. The signal in the center of K-space determines the contrast in the image, that is the brightness of large objects. So the K-space will be the most signal within the K-space is present at the center. Moving on to the next question. Question number 54. Striker's view is used for option A, shoulder, option B, patella, option C, cervicothoracic junction, and option D, none of the above. The answer is option A, shoulder. Now let's see the explanation. The striker notch view is a specialized projection of the shoulder aimed at assessing the posterior humerus. Moving on to the next question, question number 55. Contrast used in IVU study. IVU means intravenous urography. Option A, barium sulfate. Option B, magnavist. Option C, ultravist. And option D, carbon dioxide. The answer is option C, ultravist. Now let's see the explanation. During an intravenous pyelogram, water-soluble contrast medium, especially non-ionic contrast solution, is injected into a vein in arm. The dye flows into your kidneys, ureters, and bladder, outlining each of these structures. So the radiographic examination of the urinary tract is IVU or IVP. Moving on to the next question, question number 56. Which of the following numbers reported by the scanner best reflects the total amount of radiation delivered to the patient? Option A, dose. Option B, CT dose index. Option C, pitch. And option D, dose length product. So which of the following numbers reported by the scanner best reflects the total amount of radiation delivered to the patient? The answer is option D, dose length product. Now let's see the explanation. Dose length product is measured in milligray into centimeter, is the measure of CT tube radiation output or exposure. It is related to volume CT dose index, but volume CT dose index represents the dose through a slice of an appropriate phantom. Dose length product accounts for the length of radiation output along the z-axis, that is the long axis of the patient. Dose length product is equal to CT dose index multiplied by length of scan in centimeter. Unit is milligray into centimeter. Dose length product does not take the size of the patient into account, and it is not a measure of absorbed dose. If the AP and lateral dimension of the patients are available, then the size specific dose estimate can be used to estimate the absorbed dose. It is important to remember that the dose length product is not the patient's effective dose. The effective dose depends on other factors including patient size and the region of the body being scanned. Some multipliers called K factors have been estimated to convert dose length products into effective doses depending on the body region. Moving on to the next question, question number 57. Iodine is a good CT contrast agent because Option A, we can achieve very high concentration in target organs. Option B, the K edge is much lower than X-ray energies produced by a 120 kV tube. Option C, the K edge, that is 33 kilo electron volt, is near the average diagnostic X-ray energy produced by a 120 kV tube. And option D, it stimulates the attenuation of bone. So the answer is option C. So iodine is a good CT contrast agent because the K edge, that is 33 kilo electron volt, is near the average diagnostic X-ray energy produced by a 120 kV tube. Now let's see the explanation. Iodine has a particular advantage as a contrast agent because the K shell binding energy, that is the K edge, is 33.2 keV. keV means kilo electron volt, similar to the average energy of X-ray used in diagnostic radiology. When the incident X-ray energy is closer to the K edge of the atom it encounters, the photoelectric absorption is more likely to occur. Moving on to the next question, question number 58. The following term refers to a measure designed to reflect the stochastic risk from radiation. Option A, dose. Option B, CT dose index. Option C, average dose. And option D, effective dose. So the answer is option D, effective dose. Now let's see the explanation. Effective dose. Effective dose is calculated for a whole body. It is the addition of equivalent doses to all organs, each adjusted to account for the sensitivity of the organ to radiation. Effective dose is expressed in millisievert. So effective dose is calculated for the whole body and it is an addition of equivalent doses to all organs, each adjusted to account to the sensitivity to the organ to radiation, and its unit is millisievert. Moving on to the next question, question number 59. Missile effects are shown by option A, metallic object, option B, ferromagnetic objects, option C, iron rod, and option D, all of the above. The answer is option D, all of the above. Now let's see the explanation. The missile effect refers to the capability of the MRI magnetic field to attract a ferromagnetic object into the scanner with considerable force. Moving on to the next question, question number 60. All the statements regarding shoulder radiography is true except option A. In AP view, the neural rotation, both greater and lesser tuberosity are superimposed. Option B. In gaseous projection, there is more overlap of glenoid than AP projection. Option C. AP oblique view rotate the body 35 to 45 degree. And option D. In Y projection, means in Y view, the humeral head should superimpose over the base of Y if not dislocated. The answer is option B. In gaseous projection, there is more overlap of glenoid than AP projection. Now let's see the explanation. The AP oblique gaseous view is obtained when the patient rotated 35 to 45 degree and his or her back, that this scapular body, up against the imaging detector. The projection is used to assess the integrity of the glenohumeral joint. Moving on to the next question, question number 61. Flushing nausea in context of contrast reaction in radiographic examination is option A, minor reaction, option B, intermediate reaction, option C, severe reaction, and option D, none of the above. The answer is option A, minor reaction. Now let's see the explanation. Immediate reaction take place within an hour after ingestion of contrast medium. These reactions can be mild, that is nausea, vomiting, mild urticaria and pallor, whereas moderate means severe vomiting, excessive urticaria, dyspnea, rigor and laryngeal edema, or severe means pulmonary edema, cardiac arrhythmias or arrest, circulatory collapse. Moving on to the next question number 62. TLD false statement is option A, active radiation detective device. Option B, disc are made up of calcium sulfate. Option C, lower filter is kept open. And option D, measures doses between 0.01 to 10.4 milligray. The answer is option A, active radiation detective device. Now let's see the explanation. Thermoluminescent dosimeter TLD is a passive radiation detective device that is used for personal dose monitoring or to measure the patient dose. Thermoluminescent dosimeters are non-metallic crystalline solids that traps electron when exposed to ionizing radiation and can be molded or calibrated to give a reading of radiation level. Moving on to the next question number 63. ALARA is used in the context of option A, MRI safety, option B, radiation safety, option C, USG safety, and option D, none of the above. The answer is option B, radiation safety. Now let's see the explanation. ALARA stands for as low as reasonably achievable. ALARA means avoiding exposure to radiation that does not have a direct beneficial to you even if the dose is small. To do this, you can use three basic protective measures in radiation safety, that is time, distance and shielding. Now moving on to the next question number 64. The maximum field of view which can be obtained with a specific radiographic system is generally limited by the option A, focal spot size, option B, anode size, option C, anode angle, and option D, Heal effect. So the maximum field of view which can be obtained with a specific radiographic system is generally limited by the option C, anode angle. Now let's see the explanation. Anode angle refers to the angle the target surface of the anode sits at in relation to the vertical. The smaller the effective focal spot size, the better spatial resolution produced, but limits the size of the usable X-ray field. The anode angle is the angle between the vertical and the target surface, with most X-ray tube having an anode angle between 12 to 15 degree. The smaller angle refers in a smaller effective focal spot. Focal spot is the area where the electrons is coming and hitting the anode surface, and for a small focal spot size, the anode is tilted about 12 to 15 degree. Moving on to the next question number 65. View for petrous bone. Option A, Waters view, option B, Caldwell view, option C, Towns view, and option D, Stenvers view. The answer is option D, Stenvers. Now let's see the explanation. Stenvers view is an oblique radiographic projection used to demonstrate the petrous temporal bone, internal acoustic meatus, and body labyrinth. So with that, I'm winding up today's session. Hope today's session is clear. I'll try to include one more session for PSC radiographer since I know next Saturday is the exam. So before that, I will try to do one more video. And I'm wishing all my viewers all the best for performing for the PSC exam. Please do inform me after the exam whether my channel was very useful for you or not. It will be a great achievement for me if my channel provides you as much of questions for perform well for the exam. I am also eagerly waiting for your reviews. I will be trying to include one more video before the exam, most probably on Thursday or Friday. I'll be sharing one more video. So stay tuned on Thursday or Friday. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Hope everyone will be joining my application as well as purchasing my book. With that, I'm winding up. And as I always say, if you like all my videos, please share among your friends, colleagues, and please do support me by subscribing and enabling the bell icon so that you will receive the notifications of all the videos I am uploading. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and bye bye.